What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Octagon Jordan. We got a special episode today dissecting the ultimate rubber ducky of the UFC. Now, most of you already know who this individual is. I've been thinking about this guy as far as being a duck for a while now, since about 2019, 2020. I've hated his career so far, the way he's been taking fights, the way he's been taking layoffs, the way he's been calling people out, the way he's been ducking, the way he's been taking stupid-ass interviews with people that jerk him off, a.k.a. Submission Radio. Yeah, Casper. Yeah, other guy. I'm looking at you two Australian fucks. Where's the tough questions, huh? Where's the tough questions? This is why people get mad at Ariel Helwani on MMA Hour, because he asks tough questions here at Prohaska. Jamal Hill gets pissed. He asks tough questions. Joaquin Buckley and his 2 fucking IQ points get pissed. So, anyway, Colby Covington, he's the duck of the UFC. He's the ultimate duck, and I'm going to dissect a couple different interviews, a couple different fight announcements that he's taken over the past, the way his career's been going, where does he go from here. I mean, it's just an utter, absolute embarrassment to the United States of America. I'm rooting for our U.S. guys. Michael Chandler's my boy. Justin Gaethje, let's go, turn up. Aljamain Sterling, you're boring as fuck, but you're funny on Twitter. You know, I like the USA guys, but I cannot get Colby Covington on. I can't get on his bandwagon. I just can't do it. So let's look real quick. I mean, since 2019, he's fought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times since 2019. It's 2024. So that's 5 years. He's fought 6 times. Terrible average. I don't know why people get excited to see this guy. He's got ring rust after every fight. He fought Damian Maia. Okay, solid win, won by decision. Rafael dos Anjos, at the time, you know, he's a 155er. He wrestle-fucked him. He won by decision. Sure. Robbie Lawler, he's so long in the tooth by that point. He was decrepit Robbie Lawler. Terrible stylistic matchup. Then he fights Usman. Good fight with Usman. Tyron Woodley, completely dead at that point. I mean, look at Tyron Woodley's career. Lost 2 in a row before Colby, lost to Luque, and then gets cut, loses to Jake Paul twice. So you're telling me that's a good win? A middle-of-the-pack Colby win right there? Come on now. Then loses to Usman again, calls out 40-year-old Jorge Masvidal, wins that one, waits a year and a half, or, yeah, over a year and a half to fight Leon Edwards and look fucking abysmal, god-awful, shouldn't have been in there, shouldn't even have been on the prelims. If his performance was the first fight on the prelims, not even pay-per-view, I would have been pissed if I was Dana White. Why do we put this fucking tard on the prelims? He put everybody to sleep. Nobody's buying this pay-per-view. This guy's boring as fuck. And he would have got cut if he didn't make that Brazil promo back in the day. Thank God Chael Sonnen was in his ear. But, I mean, this guy can't even think straight. His mind's scrambled. He might have CTE. He can't release the lines properly. He pre-scripts the lines, the 7th layer of hair, all this other shit, stuttering. Like, Curtis Blades actually has a speech impediment. I love Curtis Blades. He can't control it. He's the man. I love to hear him talk. Colby Covington doesn't. He's actually just a normal guy. He's just fucking stupid as hell. And he can't get his pre-scripted lines across. Have you ever heard McGregor stutter once when he was ripping lines back in the day? Remember all those good lines McGregor had? Who the fuck is this guy? If this was the old times, I'd come to your village on horseback. I would take all the women and children, and I'd shoot everybody who's not fit to work. Didn't stutter once. 7th layer of hair. You fucking tard. Anyway. So this is what people do, title contenders, when they lose their title opportunity, maybe even 2 times. 2-time title challengers. They've lost it. They're still, you know, they're not old yet. They're still kind of in their prime. This is what they do. They fight the contender to prove that they're still at the top of the heap. Justin Gaethje lost 2 title opportunities to Charles Oliveira, Khabib Nurmagomedov. You know what he did? He doesn't call out Jim Miller. He doesn't call out Bobby Green. He takes on Rafael Fiziev, young Muay Thai stud, a king over in Thailand. At Tiger Muay Thai, a beast, takes him on, doesn't give a fuck, gets the win. You know who else lost a couple title opportunities? Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Takes on Benoit Saint-Denis, young stud, running through people at lightweight. Thiago Moises, you're gone. Ismael Bonfim, you're fucking done. Dustin Poirier says, you know what, I lost twice to Oliveira and Khabib. I just lost to Gaethje. Fucking turn it up. Let's see if I still got it. I'm a dog. I'm a beast. I'm a fighter. I'm a real one. I'm not a fucking duck. Quack, quack. Fucking Colby, still fucking preaching Trump. Hey, buddy, Trump is out of office since 2020, pal. The Trump shtick is fucking dead. The whole shtick is done. Submission radio, your guys' shit's going downhill. Okay? I can't stand to watch you guys glaze these fighters anymore. Only people you get on there is Dan Hooker, fucking Dan Hardy, Luke Thomas, Colby Covington. Where's the real ones? Where's the fucking real ones? Where's Dustin Poirier on Submission Radio? Where's Yuri Prohashka on Submission Radio? Where's Gilbert Burns on Submission Radio? Huh? Where are the real ones at? Where's Jorge Masvidal? Where are the real ones? Who else? Adesanya. He's Australian. Where the fuck's he at? Where's Volk? I know you had Robert Whittaker on there a few times, but you know what? Bobby Knuckles just does his thing. He doesn't even know what's going on. So I don't even blame Bobby Knuckles for being on your guys' dead-ass channel. You know who else takes fights after they lose? Gilbert Burns. Lost to Kamaru Usman. Lost to Khamzat Chimaev. You know what he does? He doesn't call out an old head. He doesn't. He doesn't call out fucking Wonderboy Thompson again. Even though he fought him the first time, he didn't call him out. That's just what the UFC wanted. Takes the JDM fight. They want him to fight JDM. Fucking takes it. Doesn't bat an eyelash. Doesn't give a fuck. Doesn't give a fuck. Wants to fight Belal Muhammad, short notice, off a 2-fight win streak. Fucking book it, Dana. Book it, Dana. Let's go. Fucking Colby Covington. You can't fight Ian Garry. You called his wife a cuck at the press conference. You made a whole call-out video that the whole MMA world, YouTube world, was jizzing over. MMA Guru and fucking Lucas Tracy, the best call-out of all time. Oh, he gave him 3 stipulations, and he was on a rented boat and stuttered over every fucking word. Have your wife make a video with me and send me a video of her on her knees begging for the fight and Instagram and all this other gay-ass shit. You think Khamzat's making that dumb shit? Shavkat? Kamaru Usman? These motherfuckers? Paulo Costa? He doesn't give Sean Strickland? These guys aren't making these dumbass videos about Instagram comments. You've won 3 fucking fights in the last 5 years against old heads who aren't even in the UFC anymore. Jorge Masvidal, gone. Damian Maia, gone. Robbie Lawler, gone. Tyron Woodley, gone. All these guys are fucking gone, buddy. You ain't calling the shots. You ain't pulling big numbers. Your fight was a dud. I regret even paying for it, and I'm a hardcore fan. You think if I had my friends over who watch soccer and basketball and football, or my dad, my parents, hey, come on down, watch this Colby Covington fight, you'll be enamored. You'll be ecstatic. You'll be engaged. They'd say, fuck you, give me my money back. I'm never coming over your house again. I lost all my friends that night because of you, Colby. So you make this big video about Ian Garry's wife. He's a cuck, his wife. You don't even have a wife. You pay strippers to be on your MyBookie promos. MyBookie's a fucking ripoff. I won $1,200 on MyBookie, cashed out. They gave me $1,000, $200 less. No reason. I got no response. It's processing fee over this fee. Took 2 weeks. Had to give them all my bank information. MyBookie's a fucking scam. Those chicks are paid for. You're single. You're fucking dumb. You're ugly. Your teeth are fake. You're a fucking bitch. Trump ain't in office no more, buddy. The shtick ain't working. Throw it out. Get on the fucking DeSantis train or something. We need a revamp, bro. You're getting 20K likes on Submission Radio. MMA Guru puts out a video of John Jones being gay. He gets 500K likes or 500K views. A video about John Jones being gay. It's ridiculous. It pisses me off. Anyway, this is what real champions do. Corey Sandhagen, losing to Pierre Leon for the interim belt. He's fighting Umar Nurmagomedov. I can go on and on and on and on and on and on. Who else? Yuri Prohashka loses. He fights Alexander Rakic immediately. Tom Aspinall loses. He fights Marcin Tybura. Then he fights Sergey Pavlovich immediately. Max Holloway loses to Volkanovski. He fights Arnold Allen. Then he fights Justin Gaethje. Then he fights Yair Rodriguez. These are the people Colby Covington's calling out. Let's see who he's calling out. So this is his post-loss, his second loss against Kamaru Usman, UFC 268. I was there in attendance, MSG, Turn Up, Octagon Jordan. Let's see who he calls out. Do you think he calls out Shavkat, Belal? He's calling out Belal now. Because Belal's number 1. You think he was calling Belal out back then? What about Gilbert Burns, who called him out 1,000,000 times? We all remember the promo. Colby Covington, I'm coming for you. Fucking crickets. Crickets out of this motherfucker. Crickets. Let's see who he calls out. Let's see. There's so many options. Sean Brady. You got Burns. You got Belal. You got Khamzat. You got Shavkat. You got Usman again. Let's see.
I will see him again. I'm not done with him. I'll fight whoever it takes to get back there. I think the most logical step is the heated rival with me and my old roommate, Street Judas Masvidal. You know, he should probably pull out of that fight with Leon Scott, and we should just run it. You know, let's run it in the first quarter.
Called Leon Scott, who he called and ignored the entire time until Leon got the belt. Then he was, oh, Mr. Edwards, oh, Edward Scissorhands, oh, your dad, blah, 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 blah. Leon Scott. Masvidal, who wanted to fuck him up for years before this, finally says his name because he knows Jorge Masvidal has a following at this time. He was still in the UFC at this time, has a following, is popular on social media, posts about him do well, pay-per-views do well. He's like, all right, he's older, he's a striker, he's not a wrestler. We have a history, it could be heated. A lot of stuff about him does well, and I could easily win the fight. Hold on one second, let me just make sure everything's working properly. Yes. So decides to call out Jorge Masvidal. All right. UFC obliges. They obey to that call out. They're like, you know what? It will be a big event. Masvidal is a big star. Colby, you're kind of a fucking dumbass. You stutter, but you know what? You make a couple viral clips. You guys have a history. It'd be a good promo. We'll put it together. The fight sucked. The fight was boring. The best moment of the fight was Jorge fucking socking Colby with that right hook. I wish so bad that it knocked him out cold. But that was the best moment of the fight. That's the only moment I remember. I remember Jorge socking him with the right hook. I remember at the end of the fight, Jorge still trying to get in his face. I don't know a single thing Colby did. I mean, I know he took him down 1,000,000 kajillion times and has no jiu-jitsu, so wasn't close to any chokes. Ground and pound is awful. Have you ever seen Colby Covington ground and pounding somebody? Smashing them into the dirt like JDM did against Gilbert Burns? Like Curtis Blades did against Alex Overeem? Just absolutely elbows like Bruno Silva did against Wellington Turman? No, he doesn't have ground and pound. He doesn't have submissions. He doesn't have knockout power. How does he win fights? With pressure, clinch, wrestling, pitter-patter shots, and cardio. And it's all gone, fuckface. Sorry. All right, so he got the Masvidal fight. He won that. Congrats. Then he sat out for 1.5 years after he got jumped by Masvidal for talking about his kids because he's an idiot. And they live in the same city, and he was posting stuff on Instagram with a location because he's a dumbass. Then he sued Masvidal, didn't drop the charges, even though it's two UFC fighters who have history, who've been talking shit. Doesn't drop the charges, does not drop the charges, goes to court, 1.5 years of his career gone, fights nobody, and gets gifted a title shot against Leon Scott because he was the fake backup against with the Usman-Leon, trilogy. Whatever. I remember Dana was like, oh, he was the backup. You know, he flew all the way out here to London. He did that for us. He cut weight last second. Like, we owe him a title shot. Well, what about Vicente Luque when he was the backup? You gave him fucking Joaquin Buckley. What about Gamrot when he was the backup? Yeah, completely ignored him and called Vulcan a week's notice, and then he gave Gamrot RDA, who's ranked number 12 and isn't even a lightweight, and Gamrot still doesn't have a fight booked. Okay. Anyway, this was after another loss. 1.5 year layoff, loses to Leon Edwards. Pitiful performance. No highlights whatsoever from either guy. Colby did nothing. 5th round, did nothing. I don't care if he got some control. Did nothing. He's a bomb. He's a fucking dickhead. He's an idiot. Let's see what he said. Let's see who he calls out here. Maybe he calls out Ian Garry, who's even more hated than he is, who has heat, who's exciting, who's popular, who's a striker. Good matchup for Colby. He could wrestle Ian Garry. He could use the grappling against Ian Garry. There's a lot of heat there. There's a lot of promotional, material that he can keep calling him a cuck. I know he's, pretty much exhausted all of his ideas. Cuck Chato, you're a cuck, your wife wrote a book, you've done nothing, you beat nobody. I don't know, whatever else he's calling him. He's out of material, I guess. That's why he didn't take the fight. But let's see who he calls out after the Leon Edwards fight. Maybe it's Shavkat.
interview. So, it's in the past now. I'm not going to worry about the past. I'm going to focus on what's next. There's a guy that's been talking a lot of shit to me in the media. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Everybody thinks he's a nice guy. He's had a lot to say about me. So I'd love to see him say that to me in the cage, in the octagon.
What exactly has he been saying about you?
Oh, he was just saying some stuff before the fight. Oh, he's going to get his jaw broke. Oh, this and that.
Colby, you want to fight a striker? So let me get this straight. He wants to fight a striker who's been talking shit, supposedly. Wonderboy's been talking shit, even though he wasn't. A striker who was talking shit and who's highly ranked. Okay. So Ian Garry, let's see. Striker. Yes, definitely striker. Talking shit. Yes. Called Colby Covington a duck and a bitch and fights nobody and he's washed up and a bunch of other shit. And highly ranked, yes. Ian Garry's in the top 10. And young and has a following and his name has value right now and a lot of momentum. And it could have been on the McGregor card. Could have been at 301. He could have been at the Dublin press conference. Could have, revamped his career. So everything, striker, top 10, good talker. Ian Garry fits the bill. But he didn't, do Covington stipulations. He didn't vote for Trump in 2024, 2028, 2032. He didn't, hook up with Colby's strippers with him on the rented boat. And he didn't, call Leon and Kamaru Usman some stupid names. So he's out of the running. He didn't do the stipulations. Fucking idiot. Fuck you, Colby. You fucking boring ass bitch.
He's always talking shit, throwing shade, so I'd love to see him say it to my face. He's always got things to say to you guys in the media, but I've never seen him come up to me face to face. We were backstage at the press conference. He kept...
Who have you gone up face? Did you go up face to face with Machado Gary? Did you go up face to face with Leon Edwards after you called his dad? Said his dad was in hell? No, bodyguards held you back. Did you go face to face with Kamaru Usman at that buffet at the UFC pre-fight press conference or whatever the fuck? No, you didn't. You scurried away like a little bitch. Did you go face to face with Masvidal when he popped you in the chin outside that steakhouse? No, you called the police. Did you go face to face with Shavkat? No, you ran away, scurried away. What about Khamzat? Nope, you didn't do shit. What about Gilbert Burns when he called you out 1,000,000 times? Nope. What about Belal Muhammad? Nope.
Kept his head down the whole time. So he always has things to say. I'm a man of my word. I say things to people and I look them right in the eye and I say, let's do it. Let's go in the octagon. So, I'd love to see him.
Let's do it. Let's go in the octagon. I have 5 fights since 2019. I'm less active than fucking Paulo Costa. I'm less active than fucking Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. I'm less active than fucking, I don't know, you name them of Mickey Gall. I mean, Mickey Gall is doing the same shit this guy's doing. It's just embarrassing. He's wearing Trump shit. It's 2024. Oh, man. His pitter-patter cardio style didn't work against Leon. Who would have thought that? Who would have fucking predicted that, huh? Who put 500 on Leon easy? Jesus Christ, can't believe people are picking this guy.
Sometime next year, and, we've been at the top of the division for the longest. We're two guys that have never fought that have been at the top of the division for years. So, I think that's the fight that makes the most logical sense next.
I know you.
Really? What about Gaethje fighting Fiziev? What about Poirier fighting Benoit Saint-Denis? What about Sandhagen fighting Umar? What about Burns fighting JDM? This is what people do at the top of the division to hold their ranking, to defend their ranking. It's the same as a belt. If you lose your chance to go up, you have to defend your chance to stay where you're at. Not fight old people. Not fight 41-year-old fucking Stephen Wonderboy who has no grappling, who got out-wrestled by Burns and out-wrestled by Belal. Why don't you call those two out? You're a 3-time UFC title challenger. Why not call out the people that beat Wonderboy? Belal, Burns. Why not call out the people that are undefeated? Brady, even though he's not undefeated. Gary, Khamzat, Shavkat. Why don't you call them out? You're Mr. Big Shot. You're the best thing in the UFC. You're the biggest draw. You say, hey, let's get in the octagon. I'll call anybody out. I'll fight anybody anytime, anywhere.
You say you don't want to make excuses, but bear in mind the inactivity that you've had to have over the last couple of years. Would you like to get back in there as soon as possible and try and compete more regularly to maybe help with those timing issues you mentioned?
Of course, I want to be an active fighter. I want to be a company man. I want to be a guy that, comes out here and puts on performances and shows.
All right. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, all right. So Shavkat and Colby. This seemed like a fight that might happen.
Ramonov, he called out Colby Covington afterwards. I know you don't. You touched on how impressed you were with Shavkat Ramonov. He called out Colby Covington afterwards. I know you don't make fights. Yeah, straight afterwards you always say it, but is that something that makes sense?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's fun. That's a fun one.
In Abu Dhabi, I told you.
Hold on, my dog's in here. Go. Get. Sorry about that.
Oh, I'm not making the fight. I'm just saying, yeah, that sounds fun. I didn't know he did that, but we'll see.
And it's been over a year, like pretty much to the day since Colby last fought for Masvidal right here. Do you guys have an update on him at all, or?
On Colby?
Yes.
Yeah, Colby's ready to fight. He's ready to fight, and he's ready.
Colby's ready to fight. Shavkat called him out. Dana loves the fight. He thinks it's very interesting. He thinks it's very exciting. But it doesn't happen, though. You think Shavkat ducked? You think Shavkat ducked, huh? You think Shavkat was scared? I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see what he had to say about Khamzat Chimaev after Khamzat moved weight classes. He was calling out Colby, put up 1 million Colby memes. Go look at Khamzat's Twitter 2 years ago. 1 billion kajillion Colby memes, bleeding from the Usman fight, calling him a bitch, calling him a pussy. And then Khamzat moves up in weight, and Colby finally talks about him.
We like to quote the great poet Lil Wayne. And just like Lil Wayne said, real G's move in silence, like lasagna. Shout out, Wheezy.
And earlier you had mentioned some unprofessional.
Could you guys imagine Colby trying to rap? Oh my God, he would just do. Hold on, let me redo that. Seventh layer of hell. You gotta make America great again, great again, and then I'll be late to my next fight because I'm Colby and I'm a bitch.
Fighters in your division. Who exactly were you referring to?
I was referring to that dog-faced motherfucker Cumshot. You know, he talks all this shit, dude. He said all these things about me in the media. Yeah, of course they're gonna say things.
Yeah, he said all those things about you in the media, and you had no response. Didn't say his name once, didn't tweet, didn't get on Submission Radio and jerk off Casper. Manscaped commercial with Casper, shaving his balls. If your balls are sweaty and hot, get Colby, and he'll fucking make them nice and clean. European wax from Colby Covington himself. Now you want to talk about him, huh? Funny.
Things in the media. They don't say things in my face or in the octagon. He's been saying, I want to fight for the title 1-7. I want to fight Colby, this and that. Dude, the guy quit to the common cold. The guy quit fucking on a weight cut when he had the best professionals that the UFC PI can offer.
Meanwhile, Khamzat's fighting Robert Whittaker, fought Kamaru Usman, fought Gilbert Burns. He would never fight Burns. He would never fight Whittaker. Colby's a duck. And then Ian Garry. Ian Garry ducks Ian Garry. Has the best call out of all time. Colby responds to Ian Garry. The best call out. Look up Lucas Tracy's video. Colby slays Ian Garry, dominates him, best promo of all time, calls him out. No, he doesn't call him out. He calls him out with 3 blasphemous stipulations that'll never happen. That's like me calling out somebody from high school that I had a beef with who stole my girlfriend, and I'm like, you know what? I want to fight you at the parking lot, bro. I want to fight you at the parking lot. Only thing you got to do, you got to Venmo me $100. You got to give my buddy an ounce of weed, and you got to be there naked at 12 o'clock at night on the dot, and it has to be below 20 degrees, and I'll fight you. That's what Colby did. Called him a cuck at the press conference. Called him a cuck in many interviews. Came at his wife. And then what? Doesn't sign the contract for a Conor McGregor 303 co-main event spot. The biggest card of the year. Dublin, Ireland press conference. Colby doesn't want to be there. You know why? Because he'd be stuttering over every fucking word. MMA Joey knows. MMA Joey knows what's good. Terrified Soy Boy. He called it out a month ago. So did I. Ian Garry put out 6 different videos. Signed the contract. I'm waiting. 303. McGregor. I'm ready. I signed. Let's do this, Colby. Let's fucking go. Doesn't want to do it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Colby, he should honestly go to PFL. I think he'd do good in a couple of those tournaments. You know, he could fight against Logan Storley. Hopefully Storley, for Colby's sake, will go up to 170. Actually, no, he is 170. He's a welterweight. He can fight Logan Storley. That's a perfect matchup for Colby. He can fight the other scrubs over there in PFL and maybe, get $1 million. Honestly, that's a good move for Colby. He can get active. He can fight some good stylistic matchups for himself, and he can potentially win $1 million. So he's just a duck. Quack, 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 quack. I hope I never see him again. I'm tired of him. His fights fucking suck. I don't remember a single moment he did in the Leon Edwards fight. The Kamaru Usman 2 fight, the only thing I remember is him getting dropped twice in the second round. The Tyron Woodley fight, I don't remember a single moment other than Tyron Woodley hurting his ribs, which ended the fight. Nothing Colby did. Grappling transition. The Jorge Masvidal fight, all I remember is Colby getting socked in the face and then getting punched outside the steakhouse. The Robbie Lawler fight, yeah, he touched him up. He set a record. Never dropped Lawler, never hurt Lawler. Brian Barberena stopped Robbie Lawler in the second round to fight after that. Brian Barberena, who's cut from the UFC currently and on a 6-fight losing streak. So it is what it is. Anyway, Octagon Jordan, I wanted to break this down. I'm tired of this guy. Submission radio's going downhill. Casper, the other guy, fuck you guys. Yeah, we need some real ones in this game. MMA Joey called it out, and MMA Guru's finally coming around to it, but Colby Covington ain't that guy. He is not that guy, and I'm gonna predict his next fight. He's gonna fight Gilbert Burns, finally. He's ducked Gilbert Burns for years. He's waited for Gilbert Burns to get older. He's waited for Gilbert Burns to get injuries against Belal Muhammad. He's waited for Gilbert Burns to go on a 2-fight losing streak. And now he's finally going to fight Gilbert Burns just like he did with Leon Edwards. So it's going to be Colby, Gilbert Burns. I think Gilbert Burns absolutely smokes him. I think if it goes to the ground, he submits him. I think if it stays on the feet, he's got more power. He's going to touch him up. So it's going to be Colby Covington, Gilbert Burns. I hope Gilbert Burns fucking subs him. Heel hook, rear naked choke, buggy choke, Ezekiel choke, something crazy. Or just knock him the fuck out like Burns almost did to Khamzat. Because I'm tired of this guy. We need a new shtick. We need something new. Sean Strickland, I don't even like Sean Strickland, but he's more authentic than this cuck-ass Colby Covington. Colby Cuckington. Fucking loser. Anyway. Octagon Jordan. Appreciate you guys. Turn up.